Testing that is. Testing. I will give this a quick try. Fire it up. And we'll get ready to go. Hello and welcome back to an something a bit different. It's no your Division 3 race here we've done with the season. It's the exact same time as the Division 3 races though, but we're here doing something a bit different. We are doing, as you'll see in the title, the SLR Invitational, the Eliminator. And whilst the timer goes, we'll quickly announce myself that I'm Riggs. It's nice to be back. Unfortunately, I don't have a co-commentator alongside. Hopefully we'll try and get somebody in after a few races, but for now it'll just be me and my voice. I will have a quick rundown of the rules if you're a bit unfamiliar with the setting. So let me just quickly check that. In total there are 8 races, and we do have a full, I think we've got 19 competitors from what I quickly saw there. The main rules of the event are as follows. We've got 4 free lap races, and the bottom 10 drivers from the free will be eliminated over the course of the free, and then the bottom 4 go out after the following race, and 2 drivers will subsequently be eliminated from each race until we're left with a final head-to-head. And the rules will change from a 3 lap race to a 5 lap race for the finale, and the person that obviously makes it to the end, the last driver standing, will be the SLR Eliminator champion. And I'm very much looking forward to this. And I'm going to... And the rules are, it's a one-shot qualifying, so each driver here has 1 lap to determine their grid slot, their grid position. Obviously with the rules of being eliminated if you're in the elimination zone, qualifying right at the front is kind of a big ask. Qualifying is all important, so most of the drivers will be looking to get themselves set up in good stead for the race, as it was only 3 laps as well. And also with the fact that it is 3 laps a race, I do expect these races to be a lot more chaotic and unpredictable, as we would see in a retirement race, SLR division race. So we're just going to pick somebody to sit on board with. We've got Callum here, so we'll sit with Callum as he comes into turn 1, shifts the car down to 3rd gear, light on the throttle on exit, and he's going to have no a lot of time to prepare himself for turn 2, and he takes a good bit of the curb on the inside. You don't want to hit that wall too much, but you need to let the car slide out to the exit there and maximise the speed through turn 2, and it's the same recurring theme through this circuit as we're in Azerbaijan here at Baku, as we see Callum turning in for turn 3. And he is currently 9th at the moment on the time in Delta as he goes through turn 4, and we're going to have a first sector Delta time there up in the corners of 35 flat as we enter the chicane. It's very tight. We're in 2nd gear for most of it, and we're quickly back up the gears again before we rattle back down once again into 2nd place. It's very easy to cut there, and I think he's maybe cut that a little too much there for his fancy before we enter the dreaded castle section. It's not my favourite circuit. And it's not my favourite position to be as well, so we've seen him making that through there. Pretty ideal. He is still committed to the lap, so we will see where it puts him. I didn't see his track limiter gone red there, as he kind of clips the inside curb there, and this is the final turn before you've got the big stretch, the big lengthy straight up to the checkered flag, and it's just flat out for here. So we'll just sit on board with Callum in the Williams with the rocket sponsor on the halo there and the Rexona either side. Car's up into 8th gear, he's in overtake ERS deployment, and he has just got the checkered flag there waving, and it looks like it's fastest for Callum, but it's Ham Jam that we're going to be seeing on the pole position slot, as he takes pole position for the very first Eliminator Invitational, and he's put himself in the best possible position going into the race. So the grid is as follows. You've got Ham Jam and Jam Ham, the Division 1 champion and the MVP of the league sitting on the front row. Zydrad up in third, strong qualifying from him, the Racing Point. Freeman up in fourth, Midze 15 and 5th in the Alpha, and Bedunk, I think this is his first race. He's new to this league as well, so he's in a strong 6th place. Paraquix and Merckx share the 4th row. Smoking Ranga 9th and 10th. Sa69 and SLR Calm, who we rode on Broadway, 11th and 12th. Panther in 13th, Gareth in 14th. Hicklin, SLR Bean, and we've got Chicken, Neelix and Scott rounding out the grid. Both Hassies on the back row, but the Ham and Jam brothers are sitting perky at the front. Hicklin says he's a bit slow in the castle section, hopefully to gain some positions in the race. I think gaining positions will be all important in the Eliminator event, as we've got just under 30 seconds before we get kick-started, and this is when the fun truly begins. I don't entirely know the order of circuits, but we are here in Azerbaijan first. I think it's Austria, then Brazil, and then China. I think that's the first 4, and I remember we go to Silverstone, Monaco, and Canada. I've seen them near the end, and it's just a track right in the middle of this calendar that's escaping my mind. I have absolutely no idea what that race is, but we'll deflect for that as we're seeing 5 lights on in the gantry, and we're going to see them going underway as we're under racing conditions here for the first of 8 Eliminator events. Here's Ham Jam, gets a really clean, safe run into one, but Zydrad's looking round the outside of Jam Ham on the start there. Brilliant start for the Racing Point, and they're still going side by side and hope they don't squeeze Jam Ham on the exit and on the entry to 2 there, as we're starting to see some side by side action down this straight to turn 3. Paraquix up in 7 there as well. Just started a wee bit too quick for me, and I'm just trying to find the position changes. It's Callum, who we rode on Broadway for that full qualifying lap, up 4 places already. Neelix starting plumb last, up into 13th already in the Haas, as he gives the Red Bull a squeeze there on the entry to 4, and I've seen a bit of carbon fibre just flying up. This is the same again there with the Renault Ranga, and there's 2 cars in the wall already, and Ranga and Bean lucky there as Ranga comes back on track there and gives Bean the squeeze on the exit of the chicane there, and turns 5 and 6 as they're still gone side by side. This is Neelix and Bean again. We'll need to get into single file for the castle section, because I'll tell you now, that is no 2x2, that is single file. They're going 2x2 again, and there's a Renault. Ranga's retired on the castle section, and there's chaos in the tight sequence there as Ranga's Renault has seen its day cut short dramatically early, and Smoke got caught up in that, and Gareth is just making his way past with the front wing damage there as well, and Bean is retired from the session in lap 1 of 3 as well, as we see Gareth having to nurse some front wing damage. But back at the front, Ham Jam's already built a healthy 1.4 second gap, as we've got Freeman in the slipstream with Zydrad here on the run down to turn 1. Zydrad's keeping it close to the pit wall as he carries Freeman is going to go round the outside, and we've got a bit of a bad camera angle for this, but we'll jump on board with Zydrad, and Freeman's lost it there. He's got a heavy right foot there. I think he just got a wee bit too much throttle there, and the burst of speed was just enough to unsettle the back of the car, and there wasn't enough traction there on the exit. Jam Ham sliding down. He started 2nd, he's in 4th, and he is right behind Freeman, so maybe he will just be biding his time, as Panther's retired as well, so I don't know what's happened there, but there is a stationary vehicle at turn 2. I think he's maybe just let the car drift a bit too wide, and he's clattered into the outside wall, as we see the 2 Williams of Callum and Merckx getting a bit close for comfort there, and we'll sit on board with Callum as he's right behind Bedunk, Midze 15 and Paraquix, and he's already defending for his teammate already. Merckx got a much better purchase on the exits. They're going to go side by side. Merckx trying to make it work round the outside, and Callum just gives him the squeeze to say, this isn't happening, son, you need to wait, and he gets really close to that wall there in the castle section once again. It's all kind of kicking off here. The no positions are important. It's crucial to gain the track position to make sure you're nowhere in the drop zone come the end of the race. But we'll sit on board with Midze 15 as he is looking likely to shape Paraquix. He doesn't really miss the apex. It doesn't really clip the apex there, sorry, but it doesn't seem to harm his run on the exit, as he's got the McLaren, he's got the Husky chocolate sponsor on the rear wing in front, staring him down in the face. But we've got Midze 15 in the slipstream. He's having to go the long way round when he gets to turn 1, but I think he'll make the move already. He's had to tuck back into the slipstream, so Midze's no got the straight line speed here. Paraquix maybe does run a bit a bit of skinnier wing to maximise his straight line speed, but Midsay 15 makes it work, running outside the turn 1, and Paraquix just has to dart back in behind the Alfa Romeo. He isn't able to make the move. He isn't able to repay the favour there, so he needs to just tuck in behind, but he's got DRS. This is the only lap DRS is going to be enabled in these Eliminator races, as he tries to make the move from the outside, and he makes it work. The foot, a bit of contact though between wheels there, front right and rear left, a bit of a clatter together, but both of them still in the race, and some both no picking up any damage there. We'll see what else is happening here, as Merckx has actually made it by Callum. We've kind of missed that there as well. So we've got Sa, who is probably going to be shipping on. We've got Midsay and Paraquix again. Apologies, completely just looking over this battle at the moment. This seems to be where it's at the minute, as Para gets a bit too close to the wall on the entry to turn 9. And it doesn't seem to do him any disadvantage there. He is still there, but Bedonk started 6. It says started 6, so he started 6, he's down to 7th, and he's kind of lost it, but I think he'll be safe. I think from what I can remember reading, it is the bottom 10 from the first 3, but I'll tell you who's not been eliminated in the first race, and that is Hamjam, starting on pole position, takes the checkered flag in the first race. Freeman is in the slipstream with Zydrad, but Zydrad's going to be able to hold on for second place, and they round out the podium. Jamham, started in second, down to 4th, but he's still safe there, as we see the racing point. Bedonk slamming into the pit wall there, as Paraquix and Midsay having a race-long battle there between the pair, ends up finishing 5th and 6th on the day, as we see Bedonk finishing in 7th. Merckx makes it in 8th. I think he just kind of caught up in the incident with the racing point across the line. Sa finishes 9th in front of Callum, so he must have made the move stick down into the final turn somewhere, and Callum finishes 10th. Neelix though, brilliant drive there to start from the back of the field. No had the greatest qualifying session, and he's up 7th places, and he is up to 11th. Smoke got caught up in the incident at the castle section. It's the same with Scott, Hicklin and Gareth. They didn't really have the best run through the first lap. They were unfortunate to be caught up in the melee, but we're going to use this time just to give you the unofficial race result, as we see the podium celebrations here. Hamjam rightfully celebrating his Polte victory, and he's just showing off the winner's trophy there for us, pointing out to his fans and family in the crowd. And the champagne is a synonymous sight with Formula 1 and celebration. And they'll be safe, and they'll be heading into the next race, which I think is Austria. So we're going to get the race result, and we'll give you an official rundown. So it is Hamjam starting in pole position, takes the lights to flag victory, and he's the only person to set a lap in the 1:39s from what I can see so far. Zydrad and Freeman making up a place there to put themselves both on the podium alongside the Mercedes driver. Jamham didn't really have the greatest start, was under pressure from Zydrad really early on, ends up finishing 4th on the day. Paraquix and Midsay, good battle between the pair of them throughout that race as well, finishing 5th and 6th. Bedonk, quiet race in 7th. Merckx starts 8th, finishes 8th. And we're just kind of, I think that's kind of us. It doesn't really give us a lot of time. We'll have to quickly refer to Sa and Callum there, 9th and 10th. Neelix, Smoke, Scott and Hicklin were what I could see on the stream there. And Barlow says, boo Riggs, boo Riggs. I'm not being funny. I don't know if that's the reference for... I don't know why I'm thinking that's a reference for The Simpsons. But Barlow says boo Riggs, so I'm taking that as a compliment. I'm going to take that in my stride, as we're going to get ourselves set up for Austria. So Austria is probably going to see a lot more wheel-to-wheel action. I mean, we've seen a lot in Baku, to be fair. Baku isn't really a race where I would have thought that wheel-to-wheel action would have been as apparent as that race showed us. But we're really going to see here. There's only 9 turns in the circuit as well, and there's big, massive straights. So the drivers will be setting themselves up for really skinny wings and try and minimise the drag and to maximise the speed and put the engines in their respective cars to use. As we're going to get ourselves set up for Austria. I don't really know how to do the qualifying format since it is one shot. So we'll probably just sit on board with one single driver as the clouds are actually sitting here gathering over the Spielberg circuit in the A1 ring. We'll jump on board with Sundays. We'll jump on board with a different driver each qualifying lap. I don't want to jump between everybody on the qualifying. I'll do that for the race. But see, in the qualifying, we will just stick to one particular driver, and I will run you through the lap as we're sitting on board with that driver, like we did with SLR Callum in the first race. So we'll find somebody to jump on board with. We'll probably just do we'll get the wee menu up in the top right, and we'll just flick the stick along, and we'll just jump on board with somebody there if and when it gives us the chance. So we're just going to go, boom, right, there we go, we've got Neelix, so we're going to sit on board with Neelix for a lap as he runs us up to turn 1. You can take a look at the curb on the outside there to try and maximise your turn in there, but Neelix chooses the more conservative route there. Gets a wee bit of a slide on through turn 1 as well before it's just a straight down to a wee tiny curve here. They couldn't that is turn 2 and this is turn 3. You're slamming the car down into second gear, and it's really hard to maximise your traction off there as the car is always wanting to just chuck itself into a rearward slide. But Neelix did really well there to try and reduce that limitation there as he runs a bit wide into turn 4. Doesn't seem to do him too much damage though. He is sitting 12th at the minute. Then we've got turn 5 and 6, and this isn't my favourite bit of the circuit either. It's really hard to find the apex for turn 5 as it does go into a sudden decline, but Neelix does it quite well there. It looks like he's going to be starting 13th as he's only got 2 corners left to navigate. You can easily chuck the car in 5th gear, which is exactly what he's done. You don't want to let the car run too far wide though, because it will invalidate the lap, and you don't want to clip that inside sausage curb as well, because as soon as you touch that yellow sausage curb, you can say goodbye to your qualifying lap. And Neelix finished 11th in Baku. He starts 11th here at the A1 ring. And it's Freeman that starts from the best seat in the house on pole position with a 1 minute 4.5, and it's Midze 15 on the front row alongside Hamjam, who was the winner from the last race, starts 3rd, Zydrad in 4th, Ranga Jamham 5th and 6th, Paraquix and Merckx 7th, 8th, Smoke and Panther round out the top 10, where we sat on board there with Neelix with a 105.8, he'll start 11th alongside SLR Bean, Gareth and Callum 13th and 14th, Hicklin in 15th in the Mercedes, Scott in the Haas in 16th, and Sat and Bedunk round out the back row due to being disqualified on their lap. So it will be Freeman that will be taking us away when it comes to lights out, so we'll need to jump on board with him at the time as the grey skies of qualifying have drifted away and we are being welcomed by the sunshine and the clear blue. So we've got a lot better conditions for the race as we've been greeted by the timer. We've got 15 seconds left before we get ourselves underway, and I'm hoping to actually maximise that so I can take a quick drink. Don't mind me. Not got a lot of time, but we made it work. As we've got Freeman on pole and the Renault, Midze and the Alpha as the lights are at 5 and the lights are going to go out, and we're gone racing here at the A1 ring, and it seems to be a clean start there from Freeman, but Midze 15's getting swarmed by Zydrad, who's got another brilliant start there, having to take the inside a bit aggressively there to try and avoid contact as we see a Haas and a Toro Rosso flying off at the back of the circuit there. Looks like it's going to be Panther and the Toro Rosso there, who is going to find himself at the back of the field as we go 3 wide into the braking zone of turn 2 between Merckx, Jamham, and I think that's Smoke being pushed wide on the exit to turn 3, and we're going 2 by 2 into turn 4. Merckx is having to jump into the slipstream of the Alpha. Jamham's leaving the inside open for him. Merckx can't lock up a brake here, he's going to take them both out, but brilliant there for Merckx to slow that car down, but Jamham hods it round the outside and he'll have the inside to turn 5. Merckx is going to try and go round the outside. He knows it's not going to work, so he needs to tuck back in, and he's going to have Smoke and Callum there in close company as well if it all goes a bit pear-shaped, and Freeman continues to lead this race, and Hamjam has went backwards on the start. Zydrad's got another brilliant start as Ranga gets his braking a bit wrong there on the entry to turn 8, and he's gone wide at turn 8 and he's went wide again. I think that is just to try and avoid incident, as we see the McLaren of Paraquix trying to make some headway. He's stuck in the slipstream of the Renault and the Mercedes. Hamjam makes the move up into turn 1. Ranga's going to try and return the favour down to turn 3 though, and we've got Jamham just waiting in the wings. He's going to have Merckx right there as well, and Smoke is right on the rear wing of the Williams, and Merckx has gone really defensive, really early on into that turn 3, but he's made the move. He's made the defensive move work, but it's compromised his run, so he's needing to really rely on Jamham's slipstream here before Smoke takes it off, and which he has there, as we've got yellow flags into sector 1 somewhere. We've kind of missed that, but we'll look back here as we see Ranga and Hamjam switching places again, as Hamjam is going to have Paraquix running outside, gives him a cheeky squeeze there, and that's unsettled the McLaren into turn 5, but he's made it work in the benefit of the Mercedes there, as Paraquix is looking left and right into making a move, but he needs to watch for the brother of Hamjam in front, with Jamham close behind there, waiting to pounce at any mistake, any twitch on that McLaren, and Jamham's going to sniff it out and he's going to take it. He is not going to mess about, as he is waiting in the wings. But we're on the final lap. DRS is enabled. Freeman has already broke that 1 second activation detection zone, whatever thing. But Midze is going to have a look at Zydrad. Is going to try and outbreak the racing point. Zydrad's going to tighten the gap on the inside there, and Midze had taken a back out it there, as Hamjam and Ranga are still going at it. Bit of a slide back there by the Mercedes as the Renault driver squeezed them out there, and this is close between the two, and they've tapped, and Ranga's made Paraquix have to take avoiding action, and there's wheel banging there again. Paraquix is looking to make a bit of move here on Hamjam, and Hamjam's going to have the inside to turn 5. Paraquix has to sit out this once again, but there's and Ranga and Paraquix has went wide there, and that's meant that Jamham's up the inside, but we've got Bean on the final turn just stationary, but we'll sit on board with Freeman. Never showed Freeman racing this race, but he's kept it clean, he's made it work, he's got his little DRS activation. The checkered flag greets him at the finishing line. Freeman starts on pole, Freeman wins in Austria. Zydrad, from 4th on the grid, makes it up to P2. Solid P2 finishes there. Hamjam in 3rd, Midze 15 in 4th place there. Hamjam, his teammate, close behind. Paraquix has got a damaged front right on the pit straight. Ranga, who had been giving Hamjam a run for his money all race, ends up finishing 7th at the end of the day. And we've got Smoke, Callum and Hicklin rounding out the top 10 for what I could see there. And we're going to see we've got 2 of the... Oh wait, it's the same podium for the last race, it's just a different order. So it's Freeman on pole position, well, on the race winners podium step. You've got Zydrad, who finished 2nd last time, finishing 2nd again. And you've got Hamjam, who was the winner in Azerbaijan, sitting on the 3rd step in this race here in Austria. But we're going to have to do a quick fire rundown here. We're not going to have a lot of time because the game isn't really that generous. We've got Freeman, Zydrad and Hamjam, as you saw there. That is your podium setting there. It was the same as last time, but it's in a different order. Alfa Romeo's are Midze and Jamham in 4th and 5th. Paraquix there in P6. Ranga, who's given Hamjam a bit of hassle, finishes P7 on the day. Smoke and Callum, the 2 Scots, 2 of the 3 Scots in this championship, finishing 8th and 9th. And Hicklin rounds out the top 10, and the 3rd of the 3 Scotsmen, Scott, just missing out in the points there, but I think he's still safe from now for what I can understand for the rules. Sa in 12th, Neelix in 13th after starting 11th, but Dunk from the back of the grid only made it to 14th. Merckx, Gareth, Panther and Bean are your 18 drivers in the final classification, and we're going to get ready for track 3, and I think this is when we're going to start seeing eliminations. And it's Brazil, Interlagos, Sao Paulo. We're kind of getting some of the good tracks now. We had Austria there, it was very hectic. Brazil's more or less the same, but in Brazil, if you're a regular watcher of Formula 1, or you've been a diehard for many a year, you'll ken that Brazil always likes to tease us with the weather. Very tropical as well, so we could see some rain. If it is on dynamic, from what I'm quickly just having a search for the weather. Oh right, the weather's quick. I don't really know what that means, but if it's dynamic, it means it could be rain. I ken dynamic because it's in setting, but I don't really know what quick means, so I can't really clarify that for you viewers. Alright, right, I'm kind of getting it now, so I think the bottom 10 will be eliminated based on points. I have absolutely no idea. But we're going to get ourselves set up for the Brazilian Grand Prix and the third round of 8 in the Eliminators. Same format again, we're going to just pick a random driver and we're going to jump on board with them in the qualifying segment. If we could be quick about it. I'm going to have to try and no rush my speech, purely because it leaves me breathless, I will admit. It's quite hectic to keep up with what's going on at the best of times, but same premise. We are just going to pick somebody random and we're just going to sit on board with them. I feel like that's the only really fair way to do it, and also it gives them some airtime, so hopefully they can't complain, we can't complain, viewers can't complain. We're getting to see a bit of everybody, because it is hard to keep up with everybody in 3 laps, I will admit. It's really hard to see what's happening up and down the field. We are only waiting on Paraquicks and Hicklin before we can get underway in this qualifying session. It's not as dark as it was in Austria, but you can see a bit of blue in the sky, but it is mostly grey. So we're going to just quickly... No, we're not doing Helix again, we're doing Bean. We're doing Bean this time. As we come up to turn 1 here in the Red Bull, there's a lot of grip there, so you can afford to miss the apex there, but you don't want to miss it too much as you've got turn 2 and it's immediately invalidated, so we'll just jump on somebody else. We'll jump on somebody else. We'll jump on Hicklin, as we see him on he's invalidated too. Right, everybody just seemed to invalidate. Right, so we'll jump on board with Panther as he's into turn 4. And he's taking that a bit tentatively as he comes through turn 5. You can take turn 6 in 5th gear. How does he do it? He just downshifts to 1 gear. Means he's going to be a bit slow on the incline, but he's going to downshift the car into 2nd, and he's taking that maybe a bit too tight there for my liking, but he is continuing, he is committed to the lap as he is going to start 9 for where it stands. I think everybody is just kind of invalidating a lap along the way somewhere. It is a very difficult lap to try and tie together here in Brazil, because it's so easy to corner cut, but he's only got the final turn left before it's the incline up to the checkered flag, and it's he almost taken that as if it was a 90-degree turn in a street circuit like it was in Baku, but he didn't really want to run too wide. He don't want to take too much of the carbon exit, but he's not taking a tight line either. He's going to be starting 11th where it looks like, and it's 11th he shall start. And we've got a fair few drivers picking up some disqualifications. Is my first name Will? No, it's Riggs. As we come to the qualifying results, we've got Ham Jam in pole position once again. A strong 1 minute 8, only 26 thousandths of a second faster than SLR Smoke in the Red Bull. Badunk, after a disqualification last time, he'll start 3rd, Midze 15, and 4th place in the Alfa Romeo. Zydrad in 5th, Paraquicks in 6th, Mix and Jamham are sharing the 4th row together, and Gareth and Scott, Division 3 veterans there, will be in the rounder at the top 10. Panther, we rode on Boardway, is the last of the qualified times there, in 11th. I apologise for just consistently shifting through a lot of thought there. We don't really... I mean, we could have just sat on board with invalidated laps, and I did say, like, at the start, we weren't really going to change anything, but... I lied. Hopefully that wasn't too much of a bit of confusion. Hopefully that wasn't too much of a confusion for the viewers, so I do apologise for just completely shifting up and down. I spoil the fun. Well, that's just me as a person, Barlow, mate. Hicklin says worst race night of my life up to yet. Yep, it didn't really look too great, but we're going to have to quickly shift to the 5 lights here, and we're going to get underway for the round, the third round of the 8-round elimination, as Hamjam leads us away on the start, and Smoke's going to have the inside, and he makes it up the inside of Hamjam into 1, but Hamjam's holding it around the outside into turn 2, as we see the McLaren Paraquicks just careering off the exit of turn 2 there. I don't really know what happened there, but Hamjam's on the right hand side of the screen as there's chaos up at the back, and there's damage. There's carbon fibre flying about. It's like confetti at the back of the field, and we've got Ranga retiring, we've got Callum losing out in places, we've got Bean down there as well, Hicklin. Everybody just kind of losing out down here. We'll have a quick look at this and see what's happened there as Ranga's Renault just disappears into the abyss there before I could even get a real chance to look at it. Bean, Callum, Panther and Hicklin and Paraquicks all after the start there, all sustaining damage. For what I can see, Hicklin's got damage, Panther's got damage, everybody's got damage. So they have not had the best start to this race. But Hamjam keeps his place off the start. Smoke did give him a run into turn 1 and tried to hit it on the outside of 2, but Hamjam, the veteran of the SLR, kept his cool and kept his place off the start. Top 5 remain unchanged, but that is about to change. I thought I could see Jamham getting a bit of a look in at Zydrad there, but we're starting to see a bit of a train form for this race win so far. Freeman, who started 14th after spinning off the exit of turn 2, already up into 8th place, so he's been able to avoid the melee at the start, so kudos to him for his awareness there off the start. So he's been able to gain 6 places there. Also, you can see on the left hand side of the screen the big losers off the start there, where Paraquicks losing 7 places, Panthers lost 4 off the start, and Callum and Gareth have both lost 2 respectively, as well as Ranga, who's just completely lost his drive for this race. His car's picked up too much terminal damage and he's having to sit this race out, which could be detrimental to his chances of being the Eliminator champion. As we're about to ride up the hill, we'll sit on board with Smoke. I don't know if he's too close, if he's close enough to Hamjam for a lot, but we'll jump on board somebody that is close enough to make a move, and that will be Zydrad. Midday 15 has already gone defensive. He knows Zydrad's on a charge here, and we can't really see too much wheel to wheel up in front as the front 3 just go line of stern into turn 1. Midday 15 doesn't really have Zydrad there to look under threat, but Jamham's looking punchy here as DRS will be enabled for this one and only lap. As Zydrad's also got DRS to use as his defence on Midday in front, but Jamham will maybe try and outbrake the racing point running the outside, and Zydrad times the braking perfectly, makes the keeps the move into 4, and Zydrad's having to watch in case he's not weaving too much there. I just saw a quick change of direction there, but I don't think there was any harm done there, as Jamham's definitely looking a bit quicker here, as Merckx has to try and avoid ramming into the back of the Alfa Romeo in front. Freeman is in and Merckx has had a bit of a slide for the rears there, and Freeman's going to have a wee look up the inside. Merckx gives him a perfect squeeze on the inside there. Freeman, who is running the traction control, I think this is like him learning the traction control, so Freeman doing really well there. Freeman was trying to look up the inside there, but we'll jump on board with Hamjam as he's going to see the checkered flag first, and 2 of the 3 races already run, and it's Hamjam who takes the win here in Sao Paulo. Smoke in second, Badunk third. Midday keeps that 4th place after a bit of a charge for Zydrad, and Zydrad, who was under pressure for Jam near the end there, keeps their places respectively. Merckx finishes 7th, Freeman 8th after starting 14th. Sa, after starting 13th, finishes 9th at the end of the day. Gareth and Neelix there close enough for the final points paying position, but it's Gareth that takes it on the day. Neelix and Scott Haas 11-12, and Paraquicks after his spin on turn 2 at the start ends up taking 13th as Callum comes across the line now for 14th. Panther, we rode on board with him in the qualifying, he's coming up to take 15th, and Hicklin and Bean are the last 2 here as we'll sit on board the broadcast camera watching Hicklin come across the line in the Mercedes, as we've got a bit of an expensive pile up there, about 200 metres for the turn 1, as we're seeing Bean cross the line. And but no weather interfered with that race. Didn't need to interfere because the race was hectic as it was. It's beautiful to see the Scottish flag there up on the podium. So well done to Smoke there as well. But well done to everybody once again for finishing. Ham Jam has taken his second 1 in 3 races, and Bedonk puts himself in the podium for the first time. He's been in Baku, he finished 7th, if I can remember. Didn't really have much of a showing in Austria, but Brazil is where he's made his mark and he's made his stance in this championship as he rounds out the podium. So it's Ham Jam, Smoke and Bedonk as our podium sitters here in Sao Paulo. Midzi, Zydrad and Jamham, who were really close for comfort there, in close pursuit of each other, ends up finishing Midzi 4th, Zydrad 5th and Jam 6th in the day. Merckx starts 7th, finishes 7th. Can't really complain there for the Williams driver there, my co-commentator. Merckx, Freeman in 8th, sorry. Sat and Gareth round out the top 10 there. Neelix and Scott, Haas 11, 12. Paraquix started 6th, ends up finishing 13th on the day. Callum 14th, Panfa in 15th. Hicklin, Bean and Ranga round out the back end of the field. Ranga never really got gone in this race as he just got too caught up in the action at turn 1. I couldn't really tell you what happened. I was too busy focusing on what was happening at the front at the start, and then all I could see was just the confetti of carbon fibre just kicking up at the back on the exit of 3. Saw Ranga's stricken Renault right in the middle of the circuit, and before I could really get a real chance to really analyse what happened, his Renault disappeared, so the marshals made quick work of that. So what is really going to happen here? Are we really going to start seeing some eliminations? Because I've absolutely no idea what's happening. Have I read these rules wrong? But we're going to get ourselves set up for China. And I don't really know too much about the debate in terms of pad versus controller, but every time I hear the word China being mentioned, they say it's a very pad heavy track. It's the same way Bahrain. I honestly don't know anything about that debate or really what elements kind of really build that argument either way. But and I can for a fact this is one of Midzi's favourite tracks as well. So we should be expecting to see a strong showing for him in qualifying and in the race if he can put the lap together. As China seems to be one of his favourite circuits. And knowing that I used to race alongside him, and I know that he is really good round this circuit. So there's your wee tip for who's going to shine here in Shanghai. Is we're just waiting on everybody putting on their setups, getting their cars tuned to their satisfaction. The sun isn't really dominant in qualifying. It seems to be like a very grey day at most of these circuits that we've been to. The skies normally tend to clear for the race, for the 3-lap rapid race that we have. Really hard to keep up with what's happening most of the time anyway. But we're going to just jump on board with somebody. Boom. No, we jumped on board with Hicklin last time. Zydrad, we'll jump on board with Zydrad as it comes down to turn 1. And we're going to quickly chuck on the telemetry and the delta time as well, as he's letting the car roll out to the outside and then turning the car in after shifting to second gear, helping that extra turn in, helping the extra rotation on the steering wheel as well. And he's going to feather the throttle on the exit to 2 and into 3 as he comes across the first sector. Delta time with 23.9. He is currently sitting on pole at the minute. He is fighting Midzi 15, who I was tipping for a strong showing here in Shanghai. Then it's the quick left right in the second sector here before it's as he lets the car run in 6th gear before downshifting to 4th. He has missed the early apex, but it's not really the early apex you want before you come into turn 9 and 10. You don't really want to mess up here, turning, putting a lot of throttle on the exit curve there between the turn 9 and 10 there is really unsettling for the car as Zydrad goes purple in sector 2 as he's shifted the car down to second gear, and he's keeping it in second gear, so he's keeping the car in a really low gear through that wee chicane there, if you want to call it a chicane, before letting the car roll all the way to the outside of turn 12 as he's got this big straight. It's a kilometre long straight here as the racing points are battling, jostling for this pole position here. So what I could see on the timing screens at the right is Zydrad slows the car down and he takes it into first gear, and he's only got one turn left. He'll probably have to downshift to about 4th gear, which he does. He takes the ball up there for good measure as well, up to the line. The checkered flag is there, the track sector is purple. Zydrad is on pole. Middsey is alongside, and Freeman is in third position. Oh. And we're going to be greeted with the timing sheet, and I will give you your official race result, your qualifying result, sorry. Zydrad, Middsey and Freeman start first, second and third respectively. Zydrad 3/10 ahead of the rest of the field, heats above the rest. Bedunk in fourth place there, another strong qualifying result there. Jamham in fifth, Merckx sixth, Hamjam in seventh. Sa in 8th in the McLaren, joined alongside by his teammate Paraquix in 9th place. Ranga in 10th position, Smoke, Neelix, Callum 11th, 12th and 13th respectively. Hicklin in the Mercedes in 14th, Panther in 15th, Gareth and Scott 16th and 17th there, 2.5 seconds off the pace. And I think SLR Bean must have made a mistake somewhere in his lap as he set a 1:39.0, and that's put him 18th and plumb last in this qualifying session. And so that is Callum, right, we're not going to have much time, so that's Callum, Neelix, Panther and Zydrad. That's our 4 drivers that we've sat on qualifying laps with, so they're the 4 that we can't use anymore. And how I said the sky's normally clear for race day, the grey skies have chose to stay. There isn't really any precipitation though, so there isn't any rain to worry about for what I can see, unless it just appears out of nowhere, like it's magic. But we're just waiting on Paraquix and Hicklin once again before we can get underway. And we've got Racing Point and Pole, Alfa Romeo in second place. And we're going to be welcomed by the 5 lights in a moment's time. Oh no, we're just going straight to the race, so Zydrad gets a bit of a clean getaway there. Middsey just tucks in behind as Bedunk has gone up the inside of Freeman there. Doesn't really get alongside early enough to make a move there, but he's going to have the inside line into turn 2. Freeman's going to have to try and hold it running the outside. They hold the inside for free. Both Freeman and Kyle let the car drift out too wide there. If the Racing Point's going to be hanging around running the outside, everybody seems to be making it through clean for what I could see. We're going to just chuck that onto position changes so I can see who's really made a great start here as we go 2x2 into turn 5. It's Racing Point and Renault in front for 3rd place. It's Alfa Romeo and Mercedes and the brothers for 5th place. As Hamjam's going to have the inside and he makes the move stick, but Hamjam's going to try and hold it around the outside so he can get the inside into turn 8. But Jamham gives him a bit of a squeeze there as we'll sit on board with Hamjam through turn 9 and 10. And Jamham takes a bit of a tighter line there and really detrimental to his exit of turn 10 there, as we saw Freeman running a bit wide there and just in front, and Freeman's getting a bit of a barge there on the inside of Bedunk and a bit of a squeeze there on the inside. Jamham's taking a very tight line, tucking right into the inside of Freeman there. Hamjam's choosing to go the long way round the outside of turn 12, and we're going to see Zydrad's Racing Point leading us down into the hairpin for the first time of 3 and trying to break the slipstream there by safely weaving there. Middsey tucking right in behind there as we're seeing the brothers fighting for 5th place once again. And there's yellow flags in the 3rd sector. That seems to be for Gareth's Ferrari. And SLR Callum for the north as well, as he's 20 seconds behind the rest of the field. So I don't know where he's got too caught up in. That must have been the yellow flags in sector 1 on the start there. So I don't really know what's happened to Callum, but Callum finding himself 20 seconds adrift. Oh, he's down to 15 now, so I think that's just a wee timing glitch there on the part of the game. Zydrad's really kind of building up a bit of a lead here already, and Middsey's not really dropping off the Racing Point, but they're dropping off Zydrad's teammate Bedunk, who is already 1.3 seconds behind Freeman, as we were saying last race, is trying to hone the skill of not having to need traction control in his racing. So Freeman's going to have he's kind of using that as a learning curve now, so that might have explained maybe his spin in qualifying in Brazil. As he's just speaking of spinning, they're just through the commentators' cuss out there as we see him doing a bit of rally cross on the inside of turn 10. So I apologise to Freeman there for throwing the cuss out there as Hamjam goes up the inside of his brother, but Jamham's going to have the inside round the sweeping right, side by side. Jamham's getting a bit of an edge for just having the inside line there, and he's already pushing his Alpha to the very right hand side of the circuit here, saying to his brother, here, if you're wanting by, you need to go the long way, and that's exactly what he's trying to do. But here's Paraquix with the double slipstream, and he's going to put himself firmly in the middle, but he backs out sensibly there at the end there at the very last minute there. Very sensibly backing out of that move, because that was just going to be a total plane crash if that just went wrong. Midze setting the fastest lap, making Zydrad know that he is on a charge and he is in pursuit, as we saw the Williams and Merckx just completely drifting off screen there and coming back onto the track there in 10th place. Freeman makes the move back over Merckx. So we'll sit on board with Midze and Zydrad, who are side by side on the exit of turn 3. And Midze's made the move, but he's gonna have to go defensive to keep Zydrad behind. But Zydrad's just keeping it sensible. But if they two keep battling, and we've got a yellow flag, and that's a Mercedes, and that's Hamjam slipping down the order. What's happened there? Hamjam's finding himself in 16th, 17th place. My apologies. Just sliding down this order, so I don't really know what's happened there, and he's retired for the session. I don't know if he's picked up too much damage. He wasn't really feeling too confident there. We've got a McLaren Sa off as well, and he's retired as well. We're going to jump on board with Paraquix, who is right there with Jamham. Oh no, sorry, we'll jump on board with Panther actually, who is right behind Merckx. Merckx went off in the final turn on lap 2. I don't think he picked up any damage, but Panther is kind of breathing down the neck here of the Williams driver. As Merckx goes really wide, he's just understeering. Has he got damage on that front wing? I'm trying to look. Oh, he's not got his left end plate. He's drifting wide. That's why he's understeering. As the McLaren Sa is on the inside of turn 9 there again on the mini-map there, but we'll jump on board with Midze 15, who's going to see the checkered flag, and he's got the 2 racing points of Zydrad and Bedunk in close company there. That is your podium. Jamham starts in 5th, finishes 4th at the end of the day. Paraquix and Ranga 5th and 6th, both up 4 places, and while they've both went up 4 places, Freeman finishing in 7th means that he's lost 4 places. Neelix is also up 4 places as well, so they're all coming in 4s. And Neelix finishing in 8th, Bean after starting in last, with a 1:39.0 for a qualifying time, ends up finishing 9th on the day. Scott up 7 places as well, 17th to 10th, so a strong showing there for SLR Bean and Scott respectively. Merckx picking up wing damage there, understeering on the exit of turn 12. Saw him losing out on places to... I'm trying to think, it was like Panther on that as well, so Merckx drifted wide. I don't know if that's maybe... He is ahead of like Scott in that, so I don't know if he's picked up a penalty or that, but we'll need to see. Panther 12 there, and we've got Panther, Hicklin and Gareth. We had Smoke retiring there on the last lap there as well. I apologise to Smoke for not seeing that, and it's SLR Callum in 16th as well. And we're seeing Midze 15 picking up the winner's trophy here, as we've just smashed the halfway point of this SLR Elimination Invitational Championship. It's a bit of a mover, but the racing points will be happy there, as that's a strong points haul for the team, and that's just going to further secure their safety, as now we're going to see the eliminations kick in. So the race results: Midze 15 starts in 2nd place, ends up taking the win on the day. Zydrad, strong 2nd place there from the racing point. Bedunk and the other racing point rounds out the podium places. Jamham in 4th place in the Alfa Romeo, alongside Paraquix and Ranga in 5th and 6th. Freeman, after starting 3rd place, ends up finishing 7th. Neelix from 12th up 4 places to 8th. Bean from the back of the grid up into 9th, and a solid 2 points there for the Red Bull team and for himself. Scott in 10th and rounds out the points paying positions. Merckx, Panther, Hicklin, Gareth, Callum, Smoke, Sa and Hamjam after a mistake or incident on the final lap. I apologise for just branding it a mistake. I didn't really see what happened, but he ends up retiring on the final lap and finishing last. After 2 wins and 3 podium visits, Hamjam's streak is broken, as he finishes 18th in China. And Hicklin's left the session, so I'm starting to think this is when we're going to see some eliminations. Oh wait, apologies. Sorry for that. And I've just got a bit of a frozen screen. And we're going to come back to the loading screen. I actually don't know what the 5th circuit is. This is one that's been troubling me, so we'll find out what circuit it is once we get back into the lobby. It's no Baku. Nah, we're not doing Baku again. No on my watch. Right, we'll have a quick look at the... Right, so we've just done the first 4. So, alright, right, okay, cool. So they've done that to determine the first 4. So we'll just be doing the next 4 now. Again, it was Britain, Monaco and Canada. They were 3 of the 4 circuits. I don't want to really turn the stream off to find on my phone, sorry, to really find out what the 4th circuit was and which will be the next race. I'm thinking it's Bahrain, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't really want to put all my eggs in the one basket or all my money on the one horse, if you want to say that, on that particular decision. So I can't really say that much. But we are at the halfway point. We are starting to see some eliminees as the numbers in the lobby have went from 20 down to 12. And here are your final 12 following the first round of eliminations. Ham Jam, Mercedes, AMG Petronas, Merckx and the Williams, Gareth and the Ferrari, Freeman and the Renault, Jam Ham and Midzi both in the Alfa Romeo Racing Team car, Zydrad and the Racing Point, Paraquix and the McLaren, Smoke and the Red Bull Racing car, Bedunk and the other Racing Point from Zydrad, and Ranga and the other Mercedes. Wait, they've changed. Alright, he was in the Renault, but he's another Mercedes now. Are we starting to rally this up into teams? So we are going to get ourselves underway once everybody stops spamming the ready up button, because that's hurting my eyes. But we're 51 minutes into the stream, so I'm assuming it'll probably be double that for the next 4. Is we've got 7 out of 10 drivers ready. Oh, so it's 10 drivers. Right, so you've got 11. I'm the one as the spectator, and we've got the 10 drivers, which we just went through the list of. As we enter the Middle East on the small island of Bahrain. I actually really like Bahrain. I really like this circuit. Like, it's one of my favourite to watch. I think the change from daytime to nighttime was a massive boost for the spectacle in the event itself. I think it's very beautiful at night, to be fair. I liked it during the day too, but I think during at night time as well, really kind of brings out a particular characteristic for the circuit as well. And I just generally enjoy it, to be fair. I think it's a really nice spectacle. Either way, it's a circuit I really like. I think this is one of the circuits they're going to be coming back to once they get the real Formula 1 season up and running. And they're also considering an oval layout, or an almost oval layout, which I'm really interested to see, to be fair. I like watching the IndyCar ovals, so I'm pretty interested to see how Formula 1 deals with not like an exact oval like you see in America, but like a very circular shaped circuit. So we're going to just wait on... Right, we'll jump on board with... Midzi. Right, we'll jump on board with Midzi 15 as he's going to start his qualifying lap here. It's a very long run down to turn 1, so it gives you a lot of time to measure out your braking point there. Midzi is just before the 100 metre board as he turns the car in second gear. Don't want to clip that inside curb too much as it is really high on the inside there. And he is currently second as he opens the DRS for the second time on his lap. As he runs into turn 4, you want to brake just after the 100 metre board into turn 4, turns the car in at third gear for that extra turn in there as well. A slight miss of the apex there, but no damage done as he comes through this turn 5 and 6 chicane before he has to slam on the brake and down into second gear for the hard hairpin of turn 7. No, that must be turn 8, sorry, my apologies. Bit of an incline here before you've got the really tricky braking complex of turn 9 and 10. As the car's just completely slid out for him there on the brake and doesn't really clip that apex, and that's hurt his exit on the third DRS straight actually, as he comes up to turn 11, and this is like a very nice swooping uphill left, but see when you come to the right here at turn 12 you don't want to clip that inside curb. Midzi does really well to avoid that. As soon as you touch that inside curb you are gone. The car spins and it completely unsettles it and your lap is ruined. And he's only got this straight and the final turn left to navigate on his flying lap here. A final slam on the brakes here, turns the car in on third gear. Doesn't really want to let the car run too much on the exit of the curb there as well. You don't want to really bog down on that as well, but that lap there that we sat on board there with Midday 15 is enough for a front row, but it's not enough for pole position. Second place is still a very strong position to be starting the race in, as it's Freeman by 0.120 of a second. Takes pole position in the Renault. Midday 15 in the Alfa Romeo will start alongside Freeman there. Bedunk in third place once again there. Strong showing there for him in qualifying. Hamjam in the Mercedes in fourth place. Merckx in fifth in the Williams. Jamham in sixth in the sister Alfa Romeo to Midday 15. Paraquix and Ranga are sharing the fourth row, and Smoke and Zydrad will be sharing the fifth. After Zydrad is picked up a disqualification on his lap somewhere, that I'm assuming that will be for invalidation of his lap somewhere. While we're waiting on them readying up, I'll quickly just flick through the chat. Div 1 boys are so quick, says Laney 85. I'm assuming that's Scott Laney. Barlow says Ranga's showing us all how to drive again. And Bedunk lost his second in the last corner. That was close. Gaming Remy says pad traction for the win. I think that was for China and Scott, like the event organizer for this invitational championship, says the bottom four get knocked out here. So from this race, we're going to see four drivers eliminated. As we're going to jump through the pit lane to the lights, as we're going to see 4 lights on, 5 lights are on. The fans with their hands in the air and they're waving their favourite drivers on as the lights go off. And we go racing as Freeman leads us away, and he's immediately on the defensive to Midday 15, but it's Hamjam on the inside of Midday into turn 1, as Hamjam's got a bit of a good start there and had to be careful there not to get squeezed there by the Alfa Romeo driver, but it's Bedunk there in the Williams. He's changed his team, and he's got up to second place off the start. Midday losing out, but Midday's got to try and have a luck up inside turn 4. And it's Merckx up a place on Hamjam there as well. So Hamjam got a good launch off his grid slot there, challenging Midday into the inside of turn 1 as it was 3 wide for a minute. But he's lost out to Merckx and the other Williams, and he's gained a place. So we've got Jamham in 6th there as well. Para and Ranga, none of them have changed positions off the start, as well as Freeman. So it's from 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. From my understanding, that is the 4 drivers that will be eliminated from the session and the championship. So we'll jump on board. We'll look through. Like, everybody is really in really close percent. We'll jump on board with Zydrad as he's going up the inside of Ranga at turn 12, and he's that front right. He's touched that curb there, and you can just see on Zydrad steering there just how much he had to really correct that, because he just knew as soon as he puts a wheel on that inside curb, you're gone. And Zydrad, quite rightly and sensibly, had to back out of that. It looked like a very promising move from the get-go, but it was never going to work, especially with Ranga consistently and constantly tightening that inside space. As everybody at wall here, I don't know if they can't really tell how far the car is behind, and they're getting their engineer to give them a wee hand there. Oh, they're just right behind you, mate, don't worry. As they come down to turn 1. And what's crucial here as well is there is 3 DRS activation zones, but they're really only going to really use 2. And that's the same for every race. Like, you only get to use DRS on the final lap until the final race, when it's from a 3-lap race to a 5-lap race. And this is why getting up the field if you're at the back is so much more important, is you need to make the moves. As we see a puff of smoke coming out of the brakes of the Alfa there, a Jamham. I don't know if we looked up a bit too aggressively into the hairpin there. But still stays in 6th at the minute. Zydrad's up 2 places there. As we see, Bedunk and Midday have switched places. Merckx and Hamjam have switched places there. And Zydrad's up 2, while Ranga and Smoke have both lost 1. So we are still keeping in really close proximity here. And Freeman has got a 9/10 a second gap, but nobody's really breaking away for anybody. Everybody is still consistently close together. Midday is closer to Bedunk off the exit at turn 13 there. than he'd really want to be. He will probably maybe shape up a move here. Badunk does take a bit more of the inside curb on the final turn there, and a bit of the curb on the exit as well, as Badunk's already thinking of defensive here, and Freeman has got an 8/10 for a second gap. He doesn't need to go defensive here, as we'll sit on board with Mitzi 15. Is he going to go for a late lunge? I don't think he will, as DRS is enabled for this one and only lap, as Badunk misses the apex there into turn 1, as we see Jam and Paraquix switching places there, and Zydrad, has picked up a 2-second time penalty there, and that is going to do his championship aspirations any good. Smoke has retired. I don't know if he's just made a mistake. His car is off there, and Paraquix is spun there as well, as he quickly reverses out the way to avoid the Mercedes Aranga steaming into the side of him there. And Paraquix and Smoke, Paraquix will need a miracle to try and gain 3.5 seconds, 4 seconds back on the rest of the field, but Smoke is confirmed as one of the 4 eliminees from this race event. Freeman, his gap has been halved, as Midsy's is really defensive. I don't know if he just made a mistake there, but Merckx is going to have a look up the inside of Midsy into the inside of turn 11. Are they going to try and go side by side up here? Merckx takes a load of the curb on the inside, has to avoid slamming the rear left of Midsy there. Midsy keeps it round the outside, and Midsy keeps the P free after, I don't know if he put the throttle down in that Alpha car a bit too aggressively, and that put the car to the left, or he was just being really defensive and a bit aggressive and defending against the Williams. But Merckx is already on the defensive for Jam into the final turn, but we're going to jump on board with Freeman, as he's going to have Badunk right in close proximity. Badunk might as well just slap his rear end on the back of the rear wing of the Renault as they come across the line. Badunk just 1 full 10th of a second behind the Renault at the end of the day there. Midsy finishing in 3rd, Merckx 4th, Jam and Jam round out the safe 6. And they'll be through to the next race in Silverstone. I think it's Silverstone anyway. Don't quote me on that. And Ranga's left the session. So it's Ranga, Paraquix, Zydrad, and Smoke, who are the 4 eliminees. And while there is 4 eliminations, there is 3 drivers celebrating their success to the next stage, and that is Freeman, Badunk, and Midsy, all celebrating with a nice bottle of rose water here in the Middle East in Bahrain, as they've got the winners, the trophies there at their feet on the podium. And I will give you the race result once we see it. Once we see the race result. Once we see the result. FIA, FOM, Codemasters, Sunday, tell me the results of the race. Don't go black on me. I've just got a black screen. It was gone so well. It was gone so well. I don't know what's happened. Alright. Doesn't give me the results then. Just go straight to the lobby. Don't mind that. Merckx says he'll be out next race. Don't lose the faith, Merckx. You've been doing really solid so far. And it is Silverstone. It's the next circuit. So give me 2 seconds just to have a quick drink. Apologies. And Paraquix will just be, I think Paraquix is still in that lobby, which is why he's still here in the lobby. As we'll be waiting on Paraquix leaving. So just as a rundown again, it's Paraquix, Zydrad, Smoke and Ranga who were eliminated from the last race, and there is no place like home as we come to Silverstone. Home of 4 of the 6 drivers remaining. So hopefully maybe the home advantage will be in their favour, and they'll be dominant in their pursuit for the SLR Championship. Oh, and we're going to get a co-commentator. Wait there. We're going to get a co-commentator if I can find him. Where's his name? We're going to get... Where is his name? Is he right at the top and I've just missed it? Is he blind? I can't see it. Ranga, mate. I can't find your name. Alright, there we go. Right. Oh, we need to invite him to the game as well. Oh, and we've got a co-commentator. Right, we're going to just jump on board somebody randomly for a lap. What's happening? Right, we're going to jump on board with Merckx for a lap. We'll try and get you in, Ranga, for the race. But we're going to see Merckx just drifting through Abbey into Farming Village. I'll invite into after the lobby, the qualifying, Ranga, if you're not in any rush. As we'll just jump on board with Merckx now through Farming Village. And he's got the first of 2 DRS straights here to work his way through here as he drifts in through Wellington, onto the Wellington straight, sorry, and he's going to have the braking zone of Brooklands there as he was going to slow the car down just after the 50-metre ball. It's a very late braking zone into Brooklands, and then you're quickly greeted by Lovefield, and it's a very slow turn, and you're going to downshift the car into third for the extra turn in here, and you're coming by the all pit straight post pre-2011, sorry, as he's got Cops Corner. It is normally flat out in a qualifying car and a qualifying setup, and Merckx does lift the throttle there a tad there just to be a bit cautious on the safe side, but he's going to have Magus and Beckett's here. It's a right, left and right sweeping high speed section here as he's been really cautious with that once again. Took Chapo a bit too tight there for my liking, but doesn't really seem to do too much damage as he is currently sitting in 5th at the minute, and he's going to have the DRS flap open as he comes into stall, brakes the car, slows the car down, keeps the car in 6th gear, which is a bit unusual. I normally have to break the car down to 5th, but he's just got Vale and Club left on his lap as he comes through Club, and this is the final turn here. The checkered flag's going to be out to signal the end of the session, and he is going to be on 5th place. And I'm going to try and invite you in quickly before this kicks off. There we go. So, I've got Ranga next to me.
Hello.
Ranga, what's happening?
Not a lot, mate. I'm shattered after that. Proper
more or less the
sweaty.
same, mate.
I bet you had an absolute field day watching some of the races at the start, mate. Incredible.
Honestly, it's been hard to keep up with most of the time. You're too busy focusing on one thing, and everything else is happening. Like when you had your incident in Brazil, like I was just like looking at the front, and then as soon as I saw I jumped onto somebody on just in front of you, and I saw your Renault for literally like a split second on the stream, and your car disappeared, and I'm like, oh, what's happened there? Like I don't know. I just seen your car spinning.
It was Callum.
I jumped
Callum spun it, and he was just a sitting duck on the track, and I tried to avoid him because you're turning left, you had to turn right to avoid him, and it was just on a pad. It's just such a hard thing to do, and it was just it was inevitable, but. Yeah, involved in my fair share of incidents, and somehow I made it through, so I'll take it. But yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, the Bahrain was probably a step too far, really. That's as far as I could have got. So some of the pace is just incredible.
Oh, definitely. It's been a bit hectic here. I don't know if you're coming in, but we've got the 5 lights coming on here as we're going to start the 6th round, sorry, my apologies there, and it's going to be Jamham leading us away after he got pole position. Freeman's got a really good start there, and he's going to have the inside into Abbey for what I could see, and Freeman trying to make a move on Jamham, and Jamham is keeping the place off the start, but Midzy, and it's I'm just going to have to get the position changes out. And
yeah, Freeman just got the back of Freeman Midzy going wheel to wheel here. This is might allow Jam to get away and build a bit of a lead here. And Midzy goes very deep there. Freeman's off the track.
And in the Mercedes, a ham jams off the back as well, Ranga.
A shocking corner, yeah. How many are we losing here? Are we losing 2 drivers here, or is it? It's 2, isn't it?
It was
2
4
then 2
from your last race, and then 2 then a showdown.
Final.
And Para's already in. I mean, Para's in the pits. I don't know why he's still in the lobby, but I mean, I'm not going to complain if he's not going to interfere in the race. But as you were saying there off the start, Ranga, Midzy and Freeman were having a bit of a ding-dong battle off the start there, and the tyres kind of bashed into the braking zone of Brooklands, and that's allowed Jamham already to build that 1 second gap. And another thing I've noticed about this particular set in Ranga is it's the United Kingdom against the United States here. As we've got 4 drivers in here that are representing Great Britain, and you've got Duncan Freeman who have got the United States.
Very much so, isn't it?
So we've got a battle of the 2 international titans.
With a bit of patriotism coming into it.
Definitely, and that was what I was kind of touching on just before you joined me here on the commentary booth. Like, I think the fact that we're at Silverstone might maybe pose a home advantage for the Brits.
Could well
And
do.
maybe
Yeah,
that's
yeah, they're more familiar to the
um,
track, and it's just more familiar settings, isn't it? And just potentially feel a bit more comfortable and a bit more at home as such, aren't they? Than some of the
definitely,
American boys might. Because you
definitely.
can
I think that's what
imagine,
it is. I think like, hmm Oh,
you can
sorry,
imagine if
sorry.
they're
Keep going.
you can imagine if they're at their own track, you could they'd probably fancy themselves over maybe some of the British boys. But to be fair, it's 2-2 at the minute, isn't it? In terms of going through to the next round, should things stay as they are.
Definitely, and I think the next circuit is Monaco as well, so that's going to be a very
Wow.
interesting setup as well.
Yeah,
But
very interesting that because it's going to be all on qualifying, isn't it? So really, it's just I mean, obviously you can overtake, well, you can't overtake, but it's possible. It's just very very hard. So you're gonna have to
I like
see,
drivers need a. Oh, sorry.
yeah, who's gonna
Just
no, it's alright, but who's gonna really just push the boat out? Who's gonna It's a fine line in it between pushing for a good qualifying position and then make the slightest mistake, you're in the wall, you start at the back. So it's tough, isn't it?
definitely, that's exactly it, Ranga. It's the most, arguably the most challenging circuit in the SLR Invitational and in general the Formula One season as well. It's the fact that the walls are literally right there at the edge of the track, waiting to punish mistakes. And another thing as well that's been quite punishing for these drivers is they only get one lap of DRS as well in this championship, since it is only a 3-lapper up until the final race where it is a 5. So we're not really going to see too much of a DRS in effect for most of these drivers, really. Silverstone is a really throttle heavy circuit as well. You're normally on the throttle for about 75 to 80% of the lap as well, so it is constant high speed and it is very challenging as a circuit as well. But once that first lap just kind of calmed down, we've not really seen too much. The closest that I'm watching here is Bedunk on the rear wing of Midset, and you can just see on the Williams, you can see his front end is really uncomfortable sitting in the dirty air, the Alpha in front. You could see it in terms of his actual turn in there, had drifted a bit wide trying to turn the car in. And nobody's really made any real moves. It's going to be Vale or bust for Merckx or Ham though. And I don't think Merckx is going to make a lunge for that far back. And the checkered flag is going to wave for Jamham, who picks up his first win of the series. And he takes the checkered flag here at his home circuit. Midday rounds out the top two there. It's an Alfa Romeo 1 and 2. And Dunk and Freeman, the two boys representing the United States, make their way through. Oh,
Like a breather.
This is when it starts. Definitely, this is when it starts heating up now, Ranga. This is kind of when, I mean, it does matter every race you do, but this is kind of when the pressure really starts to mount for these drivers, trying to go for that crown.
Just look at the consistency in the best laps. Just look at that. Ham is obviously probably a lot more capable there than what he's shown. I mean, he's only 4/10 off, but really, it's something happened to him at turn one in the end of the first sector, wasn't it? So it's not really been, and he invalidated in qualifying, didn't he? So it's not really been his race, but you'd expect him on a normal day to be there or thereabouts, wouldn't you?
That's exactly it, Ranga, as well. Like Hamjam as well was really showing the pace really early on. He was the benchmark for most of this championship.
He had
And
66
it just
points, didn't he?
shows.
After like four
I think he
races
was.
or something
He
like that?
was. I think he was actually top of the championship before before the elimination process really began. And a fundamental errors just saw him being eliminated from the full tournament itself, and he's no longer going to be in consideration for the actual championship. Like the SLR's MVP has been eliminated.
Yeah, and he's been beating Bry's brother again, hasn't he? Really? So I wonder how he's going to feel about that one. Doesn't seem too often there that he can kind of a better gem. On his day, he probably he back himself, but yeah,
And
it's going to be a bit of a tough one for him.
It's going to be especially difficult as well, considering that with the outline of how this championship's how it's run, like the first 4 races is your chance to obviously secure your place in the knockouts. Like it is in football at the Champions League, you've got the group stage and then you've got the knockouts, and that's where we are now. We're in the knockouts. So, and the fact that he's dominated the group, and I can't remember really too much what happened in his race in Bahrain. I think he just had a quiet race in 5th place in Bahrain, so himself through there, and then a fundamental error in Britain is just saw him being eliminated, and the fact that he was the benchmark for so long, just really shows just how crucial this format can be.
Very much so. I've just seen him say in the chat that he got wing damage from when Freeman rejoined the track, and that's quite interesting. That's gonna explain why he was a bit off the pace and why he couldn't really keep with the other guys. So that's disappointing for Ham, but it's he's gonna have to move on from it now.
Definitely. I mean, his performances have been really strong of late as well, and in this championship as well, he was, like we were saying, he is the benchmark. He was dominating it, so he can really hold his head high in terms of his performance there. But we're going to just jump on board with Freeman on a qualifying lap through Monaco, as he's going to have to slam the car down to 3rd gear for Zand de Vos before he goes up the hill into the into Massenet and the Casino sector as well. He's going to let the car run a bit wide before quickly shifting the car back to the left and to the right. Really easy to make a mistake there, as he gets a bit of a twitch on there, a bit of oversteer as he slows the car down for Mirabeau. And then this is the slowest turn on the full Formula 1 circuit, 30 miles an hour, 1st gear lows hairpin through turn 7 there, and you've got Portier and you've got the Mediterranean there on the outside there before the car just descends into darkness into the tunnel. You can hear the engine just echoing and bouncing off the walls here before the sunlight completely blinds you on the exit into the Nouvelle chicane. Big bump there on the decline, and it's really easy to unsettle the car if you brake a bit too aggressively there into Tabac. Turn's not even there, and you have to just put faith into your ability and hoping that the car actually turns, and the turn is actually there before you come through the swimming pool section. Freeman's just slamming there.
Bidunk's just hit the wall.
On Bidunk's just slammed the car into the wall. Freeman was the same, but he was lucky to escape damage as he comes through Raskas and Anthony Knows there up to the checkered flag, and he's going to be on pole position. So it's
the split times there. On my screen, Bidunk went on pole, and then Freeman went on pole, and Jam went on pole, and then it all sort of stabilised. They must have been really, really close. Maybe not Jam then, but Jam definitely moved. But look at the difference though at the top.
And it's a United States front row to a United Kingdom second row, and that's swinging the favour into the Americans' favour there. We are only just over a 10 separating the both of them. You said Bidunk hit the wall at the swimming pool. Freeman hit the wall as well, so both of them seem to be very lucky to get away with no damage there. Jamham 0.5 of a second off the pace, and Midze 1.7. So I don't know if he's made a mistake somewhere. We didn't really jump on board his lap, so we don't really know where he's lost that time. But 4th place, or even 3rd place, you don't really want to start outside the top 2, because the top 2 that get through to the final,
it's going to be hard unless someone makes a mistake. It's going to be tricky for the likes of Midze and Jam to get through here.
They've got a lot of work to do, and they've got to make some moves on the circuit, as it is only 3 laps. But the 3 laps, as the 5 lights go out, and that takes us onto the 3-lap race that we're going to Hades here in Monaco.
Midze had a better start than Jam. Just ran out of room.
And that's the thing there as well. Like the run down to turn 1 is arguably, I think it is the shortest run down to the first turn in the circuit. So you don't really have a lot of time to make any moves off the start there. Freeman constantly getting a slide off the Casino turn there. And I think that is, like I was saying, he is learning to he is practicing no traction control. So I don't know if he's maybe just letting the car get a bit too out of shape from the rear there, because he's been constantly oversteering, and quite a lot in this championship when I've seen him.
We know how fast Freeman is, regardless. But I think he might be starting to learn this no traction sort of jazz that he seems to be working on. He seems to have found a little bit more pace, which is tricky considering how fast he was previously. But I think, particularly in the short term, his pace is definitely in the short term races. His pace is definitely improved. Remember, in a few 5 lap races I've done with him previously, he's obviously rapid, but on a personal level, I could actually battle with him or at least keep up with him. But today, I think he's really starting to get the hang of it, which just bodes well for next season, doesn't it? Really. Obviously, the mechanics are going to be a bit different, or potentially might be a bit different next season, but the essence of it probably remains the same. So if he can nail this no traction, he's going to put himself in really good stead for next season. Should he manage to be a bit more consistent?
And while Freeman puts himself in good stead, Bedonk's put himself on the back foot there after locking up the brakes into Mirabo, and he's got Jamham breathing down his neck as
he
they
might
come
go for it
through
here.
the tunnel.
No,
Is
it's not
Jamham
close
going to go
enough.
for a lunge?
Nowhere near close enough.
I feel like if Jamham...
Bedonk
picked up a penalty!
Penalty, massive. Midsy's had a shocking corner. Midsy's not having a good race here. Hits the wall as well. That's going to be it for Midsy. End plate's gone. Straight lines the corner as well.
And a 3-second time penalty for good measure there. So Jamham just needs to sit behind. He needs to just be wary of Bedonk's penalty. I always say his name Bedonk, but if it's I'll just say Bedonk just for clarification, so we're not saying two completely different names there. But all Jamham needs to do is just sit behind the Williams now. But I mean, he's going to constantly have his radio engineer on the line saying, right, has he got a penalty? Has he got a penalty? Is it okay if I just sit behind? And Jeff will be like, aye mate, just sit there, don't need to worry.
Oh, he's locked up again. Oh no.
And it's that same bit. It's always been Mirabo
really
for Bedonk.
struggling. Yeah, he's all over the place here. Jam must be aware of the fact that he's got a penalty. Jam does not want to. He's a clever bloke, isn't he? He's a very intelligent driver, is Jamham. I wouldn't expect to see him make a silly move here. I could be wrong. No, I think he knows what's going on. All he's got to do is just keep it behind him, keep it out of the wall. Midsy hasn't been able to do that, unfortunately. Freeman's put 2 seconds pretty much on Bedonk here. He's not had a good run here, and Jam's gonna have a look. Oh, Jam's lost it!
No. Oh, Jam.
Oh no, Jam might have bottled him. Jam might have lost it here. Jam's lost it here. Yeah, Jam's lost it.
And it's over the 2 seconds. Oh, Jamham, no!
Just as I was singing his praises, just as I was saying, he won't make a silly move here and look for a move that isn't there. He does exactly that. He put himself in this bit of a position where there was never really going to be much for a move on, and it just cost him time. He should have just stuck behind him and he would have easily made it. Bedonk was definitely feeling the pressure though. You could tell by the way he was driving.
He was driving very tentatively there. You could see just on board with Jamham. Like, also the braking into Mirabo was also the indicator there to see to us that we knew he was really unsettled in terms of how he set up the car and how that car was really working under his command. But Bedonk, luckily enough, with the penalty in hand, is making it through to the final, and he's going to be joined alongside Freeman.
That is a battle I can't wait to see. Because obviously they're good. They've obviously, they're from the same country, obviously, so they've obviously got a bit of a bond already, and they seem to do a bit of practice together. And I think they're probably hoping they're teammates next season. Yeah, it should be good to see how they battle. Saying that, just a bit of speculation. If the two of them were teammates next season, that is something I would love to see. Because think about, obviously they're both very strong title contenders next season. Think about how it's going to work, the team dynamics. Who's going to get, they're going to be giving each other toes. They're going to be fighting it out for track position when it comes to qualifying laps. What are they going to do on track? Are they going to let each other pass to do what they might need to do for the sake of the team, or are they just going to go hammer and tongs? That's something that I really do want to see.
I feel like Bedonk and Freeman as a teammate partnership would be on the levels like what Alonso and Hamilton was, like Hamilton and Rosberg. Like, hopefully without the toxic nature behind it. Just two fierce competitors, just two fierce rivals aiming for the same goal. Exactly like how they're doing it here in this championship as we've came to the finale here in Montreal. But that's another lineup. I mean, if that is the case, if the draw treats them fairly and treats them with a bit of kindness, we could definitely see them two in the same car. And I totally agree with you, Ranga. I feel like that's something that I'd really want to see. I want to see the best being paired up with the best, and I really want to see how they measure each other against that.
And from a viewer's perspective as well, you do love to see a little bit of teammate beef, don't you? It really does just spice it all up, doesn't it? It really, if something's, the race isn't exactly what you want it to be. I'm just trying to think of an example. I can't really think of the best example. Maybe Belgium. I think it was 2018. Don't think it was the best race of all time, but I'm pretty sure it was remembered now because of Ocon and Perez hitting each other, and we do love to see that sort of teammate rivalry. So I think that would be, combined with a bit of a challenge for the championship. It's probably what the spectators want to see.
Definitely, they want to see the best being paired up and in the same machinery. But we've already missed the first sector. As I've just sat on board with B-Dunk through this final qualifying session of the championship, and Freeman has an edge, but I don't really know how much an edge he has. As B-Dunk is coming through the third DRS activation zone into the second last chicane, and he's going to be greeted by the second sector delta line there as he comes across with a delta time of 40.8 as he slams the brakes on into first gear, into the hairpin, and he's just going to have the big DRS straight and the chicane with the wall of champions breathing on the outside, waiting to collect anybody if they make a mistake through there. And it's very easy to penalise yourself over this chicane, and B-Dunk doesn't get any warning for that.
Only briefly, he's lost it. I think Freeman might have taken it back. He has, yeah. He has taken it.
It just changed for like a split second, and then when it came to the line, it's...
Look at the difference in time! Oh my word! Wow.
2,000th of a second splits the two in the final race of the SLR Invitational Championship. Oh,
incredible.
Just strap yourselves in, folks. You're in for 5 laps of mayhem.
I don't think I've ever seen it that close between first and second before. Obviously, we've had some pretty close gaps in the season just gone and seasons before in SLR, but that is just unbelievable. I know it's not an official league race as such, but regardless, that is a brilliant driving from the two of them to be so close together.
Definitely, invitationals are there to be. They're held in high regard. They're held in the same regard as division races. This is where you can come in and just show off your skill, show off like what you're made of, and that's exactly what Freeman and B-Dunk have done. They've just kept their heads through this championship, and they're going to have to do it for one final time as the lights are on, and the lights are going to be quickly turned off for the final time in this championship, and it's Freeman leading
the way. A better start.
And B-Dunk's got a better launch, and he's going to go round the outside of turn 1, but he's going to have the inside of turn 2, and he's pushed Freeman wide already on the outside, and it's only 3 laps, Ranga. I don't know if they've changed the rules, but I'm sure it was 5 for what I could remember seeing. But I've got 3 laps here.
5, but we've got 3.
And it's
regardless, that could make it even more interesting.
That definitely puts a lot of pressure onto Freeman now, because he's lost his place off the start after a really close qualifying session, and he's going to have to make the move. Obviously on track, he's not really going to have any strategy or that to try and play a trick card or something here. But B-Dunk, right off the start there, you said it yourself, just got a much cleaner launch off his grid slot. He is on the main racing line as well, so I would assume that the rubbered in bit of track would probably have held his grip off the start, and that's definitely aided him. Held it around the outside of turn 1, and I gave Freeman a wee bit of a nudge on the outside of 2,
Freeman with
making
a penalty.
sure that Freeman was the really
Freeman with a 2-second penalty.
Freeman's already picked up a 2-second time penalty there for exceeding track limits on that chicane, and it's just that chicane's just really hard to master. Like, it's one of the few tracks, it's one of the few turns on any circuit that's really hard to perfect, and it's really hard to keep out of the wall of champions, and it's really hard not to pick up a penalty. and it's really hard not to lose any speed through there. Because if you lose speed, you're a sitting duck if you're in traffic. So it's really hard to get it right, and it's one of the most challenging turns on the circuit, and in any circuit, in my personal opinion. But that 2-second time penalty, I don't want to sit and say it, but it's definitely maybe kind of put this to bed a bit early, because Freeman would have to get past B-Dunk and then build a 2-second gap, and I don't know how I can see him doing that if he was to do that. So. And B-Dunk just looking a lot more comfortable here in Canada compared to what it was in Monaco, so maybe Canada suits him a bit better here. Monaco isn't for everybody, but Canada isn't as intimidating as what Monaco is. I mean, Monaco is just full of glitz and glamour, but it's a very intimidating presence when you're there, as DRS is enabled for the one and only lap. And this is the final lap in the SLR Championship, and it's B-Dunk who has a strong advantage here with the penalty looming over the top of Freeman. And Freeman would need a 2-second advantage to get past, and a 2-second advantage across the line, and we're already halfway through the lap, Ranga.
You never know, B-Dunk. He might get him on the straight, Mike Freeman. Oh, no. Oh, he's hit that wall. Oh, surely he's got wing plate. No, I think he's got end plate damage. I think Freeman's got end plate damage. Yeah, he has.
Front right's away.
Front right's gone.
The wee end plate.
He's gonna have to try to get him on this straight, otherwise it just looks too far back. It looks like it's a foregone conclusion here.
And the DRS is really no helping him out too much there. Freeman is just weaving on this circuit, and you can just see the. Oh no!
He don't actually got a penalty.
Oh,
and now he's.
No.
Not quite sure. Has he run out of fuel?
He is coasting.
I think he's doing donuts. He's doing donuts.
Ah well, I suppose he's entitled to do. I suppose he's entitled to do donuts, considering they came second. In quite a grueling championship, if I'm being honest. It's been a really challenging format, and it really just shows how you've really got to keep yourself composed and level-headed, as well as maintain your pace. This is quite a new format for me, but I've thoroughly enjoyed covering it and commentating over it.
Yeah,
and having you in from Silverstone.
Well, thanks for doing it, mate. I think we all very much appreciate you doing it. Especially, it's great to have anyone commentating it, but especially the SLR Commentator of the Year. It's an honour to have you doing it.
Kind words.
Oh, I'm sure I speak for everyone. All the drivers, all the admins, all the league owners, so on and so forth. I'm sure Scott could say something to you. I'm sure he'd say pretty much along the lines of what I've just said. Hopefully, anyway. But yeah, no, I'm sure. Well, we are very grateful to you for doing it. And to be honest, I've not really had to say that much, mate. I've just sat back and let you do it. You're the expert. I'm just here to make up the numbers.
That's exactly it. I mean, it's a bit grueling doing it yourself, but I mean, I always love the company, and I can always I can express my appreciation in having you alongside. Obviously, commiserations to your championship run in this formation, but
I'm happy, mate.
Obviously,
P7. I'll take that. I'll take that.
P7 from 19 at the start is a very healthy result.
Yeah. Given I had a few shocking incidents, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Will we try and maybe get B-Dunk in, since he is the first winner?
We can do it.
And we'll have a wee quick 2-minute word with him if he doesn't like it. If not, we'll just get somebody else.
We'll get Jam. Should we get Jam as well?
Nah, bring some of them in.
Finish P3. We'll get. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Freeman seems to have gone. I'm not quite sure. Freeman, I think he's gone offline. B-Dunk's joined us, our Victor, which is good. I wonder if Jam's going to join.
Oh, but we'll get B-Dunk there since B-Dunk's with us. Is B-Dunk, you there, mate?
Yes, I am. Give your box a tick. at the top of the party, boys. That goes for you,
Yep,
Jam, as well.
I've already done that.
Magic. Well, congratulations, mate. Well done. It was Merckx was sorry, not Merckx. Sorry, what Riggs was just saying earlier about it was very grueling sort of championship. It was pretty, pretty challenging. Obviously the difference between you and Freeman was what 2 thousandths in qualifying, which is
That really annoyed me.
oh well, why did that annoy you?
That close to getting pole. Just think about that.
Yeah, but if the difference is two thousandths. I know it's tight and I know it's close to getting pole, but how much time do you think you had in your lap? Do you think you had pole in you? Do you think you should have done it?
Yeah, 2000s has got to be timed somewhere in that lap, so
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
I probably could have had it in me.
Okay, well that's true. Yeah, well, at the end of the day, there's no point looking back on qualifying now because you got him off the line and you kept him behind you, which is what really counts. What did you make of turn one? Because obviously you seem to just get a better launch in terms of better traction. You seem to react to the lights a little bit quicker than what he did. Obviously you tried to fight it in classic Freeman style, but you managed to keep him behind.
Yeah, pad traction starts. There's nothing really else to it, but yeah, I seemed to got a good launch off the start, and there was just no looking back from there.
What about his penalty? Because he got a penalty right at the end of the first lap, and from then onwards, well, pretty much from then onwards, and particularly in the second lap, he just seemed to lose a bit of his edge. He just seemed to kind of lose a bit of what his pace originally was. Did you know he had a penalty?
Nope, I did not know, and then I
Okay.
went up on a corner cautiously, ended up getting a penalty myself. But yeah, that was fun. I definitely was not expecting to win that especially after Monaco. I think I will say that win was pretty lucky because I think Jam would have had me.
I was
Right
gonna
there.
say because obviously there was such so many things have got to go in your favour to win something like this, and you obviously were in the right place at the right time in the races before, like the first 4 races as such, and you had some good races to get through in the top 10. But yeah, it's got to go in your favour, and Jam was he was like 6 tenths behind you or something like that, and then I think he went for a bit of we'll speak to him in a minute, I think, but we went for a bit of a move maybe that wasn't really there or put his car in a slightly different position to what he usually would and ended up costing him time. But you've just got to make the best of the situation, haven't you? You make your own luck. So congratulations to you, mate. Well done on winning the tournament.
Yeah, cheers, and GG to my fellow competitors. That was very fun. For coming in with no practice and doing absolute shite the first 4 races, but yeah, I'm wasn't expecting it, but yeah, that was fun.
Well done to you, mate. Thanks for being here. It's good to see what we've got to look forward to in your driving for Elite next season. I'm really looking forward to watching on. Well, if the admins have nothing to say about it, it might be at the back of the grid, but hope I'm watching on anyway.
Yep.
Um,
Thank you.
Right, I'll just quickly
Well
speak
done
to
on the
you as
win,
well,
mate.
Jam, if you're there.
Yeah,
How are you feeling after that, mate? You obviously, it might be a bit of a tough one to take, really, because you were through. The final, coming to the penultimate corner in Monaco, all you got to do is sit behind B Dunk, and before we know it, you've hit the wall. You've lost 2 seconds. What happened?
Yeah, I just didn't know he had a penalty, so I went for a move that I wouldn't have done normally,
Right.
just to try and make it stick. But then, yeah, that wall round the final couple of corners sticks out quite a bit. So obviously, I just caught my rear tyre around there, and couldn't really do much about it. But I mean,
No.
yeah, I was quite happy to get as far as I did, to be honest. I know my pace in the shorter races is nowhere near as strong as in like 50%, but yeah, especially with like Bahrain and things like that, just scraping through. So I think to get as far as I got, because I was never really up at the top until I think Britain was the only race I got on the podium. So yeah, a bit unfortunate not knowing in the pen, but either way, yeah, good fun and just a bit unlucky, I guess.
I was going. Yeah, obviously it's a bit unlucky, but you can't win them all, mate. And it's coming P3 and coming P3 in a championship format that doesn't really play to your strength isn't really something to frown at. So well done on that, mate. Just a quick word, really, if you would, on the format, what you thought of it, and how you felt the general racing was throughout the tournament.
Yeah, I quite liked it, to be honest. I think some of the sort of knockout ones that we've done before, where it's just been a single race, maybe haven't been as great for some of the guys that have been knocked out pretty early on. I mean, I got knocked out quite early on in a couple of those, but so I know how it feels. But yeah, I think this one worked really well, getting more races in. I mean, I think all the sort of elite drivers getting through maybe wasn't so good, but I guess that's just how it works at the end of the day, isn't it? There's not really too much about that. But yeah, on the whole, I think the racing was pretty good. Obviously, and in the shorter races, you've really got to push it hard and go for some moves that maybe you wouldn't do otherwise. And yeah, I think just on the whole, it was good to try something new. I think to sort of end off the game.
End off the game, yeah. No, it's good to get as many people involved as we can. Obviously, not everyone's going to be as keen to race as they might have been a few months back, given the new games just around the corner. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, mate. Congratulations on P3. Yeah, thanks to Riggs. Smashed it. Thank you for your brilliant commentary as always, mate. Thanks for hosting. Been good to jump in with you right at the end.
No, I greatly appreciate the company. Helped me rest the throat for a bit after the first 5, because it was quite hard to keep up with most of the kind of chaos and the mayhem that was just up and down the field for the first 4 whenever he was still in the championship. But even when you were kind of dwindling down the numbers, it was still chaos, and like just you didn't really know where to look half the time because there was always really something going on. And that's what kind of made the championship interesting as well. It really did put pressure on the drivers to deliver, because you only got 3 laps. And I thought the last race was going to have 5, but somebody didn't really revise that particular rule. But we're not going to point fingers for that, because it was still as thoroughly entertaining as it was every other time. But honestly, now we can just extend the congratulations to yourself, Jam, also to Padung for winning the championship as well outright, and everybody that partook. It's been thoroughly a very enjoyable experience to cover and commentate over it, and have Ranga alongside me for the last 3. Really appreciate it, having the additional help.
Pleasure.
We were meant to have Steve-O, but I think Steve-O had like a late change of plan and commitment, so there's no worries there. But we've got somebody in there, so there's no damage done. And no, just really can't think anything else to say. I think it's been a thoroughly enjoyable experience. I think it's been great.
Yeah, couldn't have put it better myself.
I think from my understanding, this is like how everybody, I seen Scott in the chat saying he's saying bye to the game officially. Jam was saying that this was a good way to round out the game, so I'm assuming this will be the final streamed event from my understanding, or is there going to be
In terms of racing, it's hard to say. I'd imagine in terms of racing, yeah, this probably will be it. So, bit of an emotional moment. Been a brilliant game for the league, but I think we probably will have maybe one stream maybe before we officially close the curtain. I'd imagine maybe an incoming side pod episode. But yeah, apart from that, I can I think that might well be it.
Well, I think that would be a very fitting way to round out the game. I think this championship is a new format to me, so I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's very different, very challenging. It's a very grueling experience just to commentate over it as well as actually drive the car. So it's a very different format, and really kept my interest. And the pressure was always on, which I really liked as well. So I think that's a very fitting way to round out the game and prepare ourselves for F1 2020 when it comes out on the 10th of July.
Yeah, very much so.
Is there anything else we want to say before we officially conclude this?
I don't think so. Unless Scott's got anything else to say, I think He's usually on it. If he's probably watching, he's bound to be watching. But I don't think so.
Ah, cool. Well, no worries. We will just round that off there. Obviously, we'll just also saying a very fitting way to end. And we hope to see you in the next stream, whether it was going to be in this game for a one-off invitational once again, or if it's in 2020 when we get ourselves prepared for the next season of SLR. And we very much would enjoy your company and presence on that journey as well. So I hope to see you in the next season. Scott says Ranga smells, so we'll kind of round off with that. I think that's what we're So we'll catch you in the next stream, everybody. We'll sign off with that. Bye for now.
Bye.